This is no freaking joke. So the package said 80 pounds, and I believe it. What is up, YouTube Adventure family? Today is a big day, literally, and it's full of battery. Today we finally got the big 60 volt, 60 amp hour battery from Goat Power Bikes for the Power Goat V3 here. We're about to open this puppy up. We're about to put it on and see what this thing's about. All I know is the FedEx guy said it was the heaviest package he's ever lifted. So let's go ahead and open this puppy up and see what we got. It's packaged very, very well. As you can see, it's got the Goat insignia on it. And the cardboard's definitely a super thick cardboard here. As you can see, all the foam is packaged right. Boy, let's see what we got here. This here, oh my gosh, this right here is the charger. The charger, I bet, is 10 pounds. I mean, that's a bulky charger, has the fan in it. Huge outlet plug, check that thing out. And a very different looking charger plug. I haven't seen that one before anywhere USA. Set that off to the side. That's impressive. And here's some instructions for the charger. And this looks like the installation guide for this monster battery. I'm glad they're letting us know to take it out of the box there. That's important. We'll set that to the side. What's this here? This is an extra bulky kickstand. Now that makes sense. That makes sense because this bike's gonna be close to 200 pounds, if not 200 plus pounds. And that's gonna be huge. A nice extra bulky kickstand. That's some pre-thinking there. You know, and I've noticed a lot with like these Goat Power Bikes, they put thought into these things. They really, really do. It's nice. And here looks like the charging cable for the battery possibly. It hooks onto the battery and then you charge it. Some mounting pads. Nice little wrench there. That's cool. I love it when it comes with the wrenches. And even though I've got like a plethora of tools, as you can see, already laid out here on the surgical table next to my coffee machine. I do like it when they come with like, you know, these little extra tools. Just a little bit of extra care and thought in it goes a long way. And the bolts and washers. More packaging. You know this packaging had to be super secure. I got here in this little partial box. This looks like this is the battery blender. If I were to hook on the 20 amp hour and the 60 amp hour to have a total 80 amp hours on this 60 volt battery. Right here's my battery blender, which I am considering cutting down the seat on the Power Goat. As you can see here, I'm thinking about actually taking this battery, cutting the seat there, having Tapia Seats make me a custom seat from here to there, and then mounting this battery on there, give me a total of 80. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go there or not. Anyways, and what do we got here? Oh my goatness, or my goodness. Look at, so this is my hand. I've got a huge hand, man. Like I can play basketball. Look at that. That's what a 6'3" person's hand looks like on this battery. And it's, I mean, it's just solid. Well, let's take this puppy out and see what we got. This is crazy. And it's just really large. Oh my goodness. You see the charging. Good God. The thing's gigantic. You see the charging ports on it right here, the power button. The insignia is just super cool. God, Lord. That thing's just ridiculous. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna remove the old kickstand here. Old kickstand, see ya. And the new kickstand does come with new mounting hardware, which is super cool. And also a little bolt on the back that you could adjust the height of the kickstand to, depending on what angle you have it, which is like super awesome. It looks like it lines up perfect, which is awesome. Awesome. So definitely some thought has went into this battery pack to want to even incorporate such a, I mean, just a massive, massive battery. So to have a massive kickstand is super cool. The one thing I will say about being an owner of a GOAT power bike, specifically the PowerGoat V3, is that the build of this thing is just super cool. I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, we all know that, but basically the build on this thing is just amazing. After getting the bolts into the kickstand, just make sure that you get these locking nuts on super tight, and it's a good idea to periodically check your kickstand in the bolts just to make sure it's all secure, because it is holding a lot of weight, and that's super important. And just the constant weight, the constant kicking back and forth, it puts a lot of stress on there. So just make sure those are always tight. All right, cool. Next. Okay, next is super duper important. Now what I mean by that, I want you, boys and girls, to go ahead and turn off your battery back here. Turn that off. And then I want you to turn on your key. And I'm gonna let you see what happens here. See that? That battery's off, and see it flickering? That's your controller actually holding and conducting electricity in it. So before you touch anything electrical, mess with the controller, mess with the battery or whatever, be sure to turn your battery off and turn your bike on. And it's also a good idea to, even after you turn your bike on, to just make sure the display isn't coming on, just to make sure that that battery and the controller are fully discharged. Now we could go ahead and take the seat off and disconnect the controller from the battery. Let's go. Okay, now what I'll be doing is, underneath this seat, we've got a bolt here, 2 bolts here, and then 2 in the rear back here that we'll need to take out to remove the seat to access the controller, basically. So let's go ahead. And now it's super easy, because now we're just going to basically just remove the seat. And there is the access to the controller and all those fun things in there. We'll take the seat, we'll put it over here with a tire swap we're going to be doing later on, I don't know, is it that bike or that? Anyway, it don't matter. Okay, now we're able to access the controller. And the very first thing we'll do is we'll just connect the battery there. All right, now that we've got the controller disconnected from the battery, we're going to unlock the battery from its harness and lift that big old thing out. All right, now you can see here that we've got some bolts on this side and some bolts on this side that we're going to take out. All right, the back side. And now you could run your battery cable from your controller. Back out through here. It looks like we've got the harness and the original battery cable removed from the controller. Hey, so I'll put that off to the side. Looking at this crazy thing, it looks like we've got some big bolts that we could remove, which removes the battery and has the case in it. We put the frame and the casing inside here and then put the battery in. So let's see how that works. All right, so grab the seat and you can see the mounting holes. Just be sure to line them in, be sure that you got all those wires tucked in nice and neat. And we'll definitely put Loctite on these 3 front ones here. How cool. I wonder where I should take my first long adventure. Should I go up Vail, maybe hit Vail Pass? Should I go west towards Eagle and Glenwood Canyon? I don't know. If you're all familiar with the area, I live right outside of Vail, Colorado, in between Vail and Beaver Creek. If you're familiar with the area, in the comments below, leave a suggestion where you think I should take that first range test on this bad boy. Again, it's 60 volts, 60 amp hours, and it's just one of the most massive battery packs in existence. I don't know of a battery pack that's manufactured that's bigger than that. I'm sure you could get, custom, you could get anything, obviously. But that's impressive. 60 volt, 60 amp hour battery. I mean, that's just huge. All right, we'll tighten these down good with that Loctite. Like I said, that Loctite, you're not gonna be able to access these bolts easily at all. So putting that Loctite, I think, is clutch. Yeah, but be sure you just run that battery cable into the controller and then put the seat on before you put that bracket in. It's gonna save you a huge freaking headache, trust me. This big honking bracket, which is heavy, and we're gonna try to fit it in here somehow, some way. All right. And we just want to be sure we get it lined up here so that you can get these bolts in pretty easy. And it looks like we're lined up there. You can see what I'm talking about. Just getting these lined up with the little sockets here where we could get those bolts in there nice and securely. Pretty cool, huh? Now, like I said, just go back and torque these all down really good by hand, making it really secure, because this is what's actually going to be containing your battery in it and holding it in. So it's super important that you get this torqued down, because it's going to be keeping your battery captive inside this battery mount. A couple more here. I am so excited about this. I've been looking forward to this ever since GOAT Power Bikes announced their big battery packs. They came out with the Motor Goat, of course, first. I was like, please do one for the Power Goat. There's so much room in that middle part, and they exceeded expectations because this battery pack is actually bigger than the Motor Goat's battery pack. Okay, so we got our cable, mount through, got the seat put on, we got our bracket in. Now we're gonna put, I mean, look at the size of this thing. This thing is just a gigantic honking of a battery. This thing is super heavy. Now the trick is you want to get it in a certain way here because you want these handles to fold down forward like this instead of backwards, and also the accessibility to the plug and the power switch there too. So many reasons to get that lined up right. I find it easier to maybe get that bottom end going first and then push her in, and that is snug. Now I do have a block already in there, one of the mounting blocks, and I do have another one here that I think I might pop in. I don't even think it needs it, but all right, just make sure it's super flush right here. It's gonna be super important when you're mounting on this big, huge piece here. It's easy to know which side goes on which. It's gonna have the rubbery padded side on here first. And I'll grab a couple of these big honking bolts here that it comes with. And I might actually change these bolts out for some silver ones or some red ones later, just so it looks cool. All right, we'll put this center one in there first. And I'm just gonna put a couple twists on each one for the obvious reasons. When you tighten these down too, don't go too crazy on the torque. I mean, these are big bolts, they're gonna be in there pretty good, and that's just gonna prevent you from stripping these out. And again, it probably wouldn't even hurt to put a little Loctite on these. Lined up, looky there, way to go. Way to go. All right, the true test now. We'll power this baby up. See what we got. That's a lot of battery. That is a lot of battery. I mean, like, the theme song to this bike should definitely be Metallica Battery, so stay tuned for that in one of my shorts, because I think that's going to definitely be the song I picked for one of my shorts. And those are all tight. Boom. There we go. Bam. You can see here we'll want to plug this in here. Tuck that cord up a little bit. Lock that puppy down. Power it on. All right, let's see. Here's the true test, boys and girls. Key on. Power button. Boom. We got power. And look at that. And it comes with a honking huge, huge, huge charger. It's gigantic. Again, I always advise plugging into your battery first and then the wall on any charger that you do. It's not necessary on a lot of these, but I still stay, pretty careful with all these things. These machines are important to me, and the longer they last, the happier I am. Anyways, I hope this helped. This was the Goat Power Bikes Power Goat V3 60 volt, 60 amp hour battery install. Leave a comment below. Tell me where you think I should take this bike on a range test. I'm super excited. Until our next adventure, this is Chris from the Colorado Adventure Channel. Peace.